Hello there. I hope you had a good weekend. Now, as we wait for the just concluded presidential election results from Nigeria, other news that are making headlines at the moment are from Rwanda, Paul Kagame. Now, last week, the president of Rwanda, Paul Kagame, gave an interview to a Ugandan journalist interviewing on behalf of the East African newspaper. And in the interview, Paul Kagame seemed to suggest that he's preparing to invade Congo, or he's going to attack Congo. And this is how the interview went. DRC has crossed the red line. War won't be in Rwanda. So this is the interview I'm talking about. And according to the president of Rwanda, Paul Kagame, he said that a red line was crossed in the Congo crisis. That is the crisis between the Congolese government and M23 and the Rwandan soldiers, when Kinshasa, that is Congo, enabled anti-Rwanda forces based in the Democratic Republic of Congo to shell the country and kill innocent citizens. So the interview, which was done for this particular newspaper, the East African, in Rwanda on Wednesday last week in the capital Kigali, the president of Rwanda says that the Congolese government armed what he calls the Democratic Forces for the Liberation of Rwanda, otherwise known as FDLR. And who are these FDLR? This is a rebel group active in the eastern DRC with the intention of going back to Rwanda and taking back that country. So FDLR evolved directly from the militias that killed nearly 1 million people in the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi. So you understand what happened. Kagame says that these rebels, who are FDLR, are made up of former soldiers who are soldiers of the previous government in Rwanda in 1994 that escaped to Congo and formed a rebel group whose intention is to come back and take over Rwanda. That is what he says. That is what he keeps saying. And he goes ahead to say that these FDLR were given BM-21, which is a self-propelled multiple rocket launcher. I'm going to show you a video of what this rocket launcher looks like. And they were given this by the Congolese government, and they used this weapon to shell the territory of Rwanda, and where some few civilians were killed, according to Paul Kagame. He goes ahead to say that we respect Congo's territorial integrity, but we have our territorial integrity too to protect. We need no invitation to do that. So Paul Kagame also says, in as much as they respect Congolese territory, they also need their own territory respected. He goes ahead to say, but now this is where he lies. Yeah? Paul Kagame is lying that he respects Congolese territory. I can show you evidence going back to 1996, 1997, 1999, 2003, 2006, 2010, 2011, 2012. How many times Rwandan troops have crossed over to Congo without being given permission to violate Congolese territory. And today we are here. You know that Congo, through their president, even a panel of UN experts, including the US, the EU, France, a lot of other countries have accused Rwanda of supporting the M23 rebels who are fighting Congo. The US last week released a statement saying that they have evidence to show that Rwanda supports M23. They even went ahead to say that they also have evidence to prove that more than 2,000 Rwandan troops are inside Congo, operating in Congo, attacking Congolese soldiers, killing Congolese civilians, and fighting alongside the M23 rebels. That is what the US said. So he's trying to ignore all that because he has denied it, and telling us that they respect Congo's territorial integrity, even when a lot of people and a lot of countries believe otherwise. Now, why does Paul Kagame have to keep involving the M23? This is a Tutsi-led group. Some of these M23 members are Tutsis from Congo. And the reason why they are being supported by Paul Kagame is so that they can do two things. One, try to capture the city of Goma. They did that in 2012, so they think they can do it again. The other reason is to try to take over this whole region. what we call the North Kivu region. And they have to take over from the border with the Uganda here in Ruchuru, come to Masisi, take it over all the way to go to the whole of Lake Kivu. They want to take that territory and control it. And I am sure that they also intend to take South Kivu all the way to Tanganyika. Now, once they take that territory, they have to remove a certain tribe that lives here called the Hutu tribe. Now, the Hutus are a Bantu tribe. I'm going to tell you more about the Hutus. So these Hutus are a Bantu tribe. Yeah, you can see they are a Bantu ethnic group which is native to the African Great Lakes region. They mainly live in Rwanda, Burundi, and the Eastern Democratic of Congo, right? So when we talk of the Greater Lakes region, we are referring from Lake Tanganyika, Lake Victoria, sorry, this lake in Uganda called Albert, south in Goma, the Lake Kivu, all the way to Lake Tanganyika. All this region is what we call the Greater Lakes region. And the Bahutu people are found here. They even found in Tanzania, in Goma. Some of their cousins in Goma called the Ha people. When you hear the Ha people speak, they speak the same language as the Hutu people. You cross into Burundi, they are called the Warundi, but they are the Hutu people. Any Bantu found in Rwanda are called Hutus, and most of the people who live along this region of Eastern Congo, where now M23 is active, are the Hutus. They are Bantus who are found here. And the reason they are here is because you see these borders, these are artificial borders drawn up by the colonial masters, Belgium and Germany and others, the British. They were drawn in Europe. So they picked a map of Africa and used a pencil to draw these lines you're seeing here. But they never cared about the people who are living here. So this whole region here belongs to the Hutu people. What about the Tutsi? The Tutsi, they are a Nilotic community. As you can see, if you search Tutsi, you type, you are told it's an ethnic group, probably a Nilotic origin. But they are a Bantu speaking ethnic group. They speak a Bantu. So even when you go to this Bibilica, the Tutsis, you read their history basically. So according to them, they came from Western Ethiopia. That's what they say. I don't know whether it's true, but they say they came from Western Ethiopia, this part of near South Sudan. So they followed the Rift Valley, the plateau. They came and started grazing their cows. They are a nomadic pastoralist group. So some of them went inside Uganda. This is a Mbarara region. It's a flat with the grazing ground here. They call themselves the Banyankore. Others, I don't know what they call themselves. Then some of them stayed in Congo. They call themselves the Bamasisi Tutsi. Others went inside Rwanda and they call themselves the Wanyarwanda. And others, they called Burundi. But they found a community that was living here called the Wahutu people. And because the Tutsis were minority, they learned the Kihutu language. And that's the language that is spoken in Rwanda, Burundi, and Eastern Congo. The language where you say a person is called Umuntu, which is a Bantu. If you are a Bantu person and you are listening to this video, you also call a person Umuntu or Umuntu or Ubuntu. That is a person. So the Kinyarwanda, the Hutu people call a person Umuntu, and it's the same language spoken in Burundi, but with a slight dialect. Dialect is like the way Kenyans speak Swahili and the way Tanzanians speak Swahili. Their accent are different. That's what we call a dialect. You find the Kenyan Swahili and the Tanzanian Swahili are the same Swahili when it is written down, but when spoken, they differ. One has an English dialect, the Kenyan one. The Tanzanian has more of an Arabic dialect because of Zanzibar. So now you understand what I'm trying to say. The Hutus were found here. Now I'm going to Wikipedia to tell you more about this Hutu. And in Rwanda, there are about 11 million to 12 million people, which is about 84 to 90% of the total population. In Burundi, there are about 11 million people, which is about 85% of the total population. And in Congo, the eastern part of Congo, there are about 2 million. Now, Congo has never done a census since 1962 or 69, sorry. So we don't know how many there are. They could be 4 million. They could be 5 at the moment because unlike these other two countries, there's no census information from Congo. So I suspect there are more than 4 million found in Congo and mostly this region. So the Bahutus in Congo, they could be 4 million. Now, why am I trying to say there are 4 million? I'll come back to that. First of all, you have to look at some of this data. 90% of the Rwandan population is Hutu. So it means about 10% of Rwandan population is the Tutsi. And today, the Tutsis are the ones in government, in the army, and Paul Kagame is a Tutsi. So they're the ones in control. And the fear they have is that these 90% of the people in Rwanda one day might rise up and remove them from power, which is what they should have done anyway. But today they don't have guns, so that's why they are being oppressed. Of course, Rwanda, Paul Kagame keeps lying to the international community that he wins by 99.7% of the vote, even though on the ballot there's no Hutu candidate. So, and you know how Africa we vote? We either vote on tribal lines, racial lines, or religious lines. So in Rwanda, obviously it is tribal because the religion in Rwanda is one, Christianity. Okay, back to the story. Now, why is Rwanda, Paul Kagame, saying that Congo is supplying weapons to these Hutu people he's calling FDLR? It's because he's scared. Because now I've told you that Hutus are found in either Congo, Rwanda, Burundi. Because he doesn't want to tell the world that the same way he says the M23 from the Masisi region are what he calls the Congolese Tutsis, who are less than 200,000 by the way. He says they are Congolese Tutsis. He doesn't want to tell the world that they are also Congolese Hutus, who are more than 4 million people. And these Congolese Hutus, 4 million people, it means it's twice the population of Gabon. It is more than the population of Congo Brazzaville. 4 million people is maybe the population of Namibia. So it's there are a lot of people, 4 million, and they are all located here. And because this is the region that is seeing this conflict, and this conflict is about the Tutsis from Rwanda, from Uganda, Akina Museveni, and others coming to Congo to try to kill the Hutus or to chase them away. I don't know what they want because you can't kill 4 million people. They also enlist in the Congolese army. These Hutus, they are called upon to join the army in Congo so that they can defend themselves and fight for their country. So anytime Paul Kagame and the Tutsis in Rwanda see those YouTube videos, those TikTok videos, those Instagram and Twitter videos of Congolese soldiers, because I've seen a lot of videos and I'm going to show you some of them. Congolese soldiers have this tendency of using a phone to film themselves when they are carrying out retaliation attack against M23. So they film themselves and they make fun of it, and they dance, and they now speak in their own local language. So when Paul Kagame sees a Congolese soldier speaking in a Kihutu, or a language that sounds like Kinyarwanda, he immediately thinks or starts thinking that those are Hutus who left Rwanda. Because to him, he doesn't believe that in Congo there are Hutus just the same way they are in Rwanda and just the same way they are in Burundi. He only thinks that anyone who speaks a language that sounds like Kinyarwanda can only have come from Rwanda. He doesn't even know that people in Burundi, if you turn on Burundi TV station or you go to YouTube and look for Burundi YouTube videos, they speak the same language as the one spoken in Rwanda. Obviously, the same language is spoken in this region. So for him, he doesn't believe that. He doesn't know that if you look at these artificial borders, that this border between Kenya and Tanzania, there are almost 2 million Maasais in Kenya and almost 2 million Maasais in Tanzania. He doesn't know that. He doesn't believe that the western border of Kenya, there are people called the Waluya people, the Luya people in Kenya who speak a language with the same as people who live in Uganda. He doesn't believe that. He doesn't believe that there are Luos in Kenya and there are a lot of Luos in Uganda. He doesn't know that, or maybe he knows, he's trying to lie. So the same way, we have people who speak now Kihutu. In this case, in Rwanda, it was converted to be called Kinyarwanda, but it is a Hutu language. So the same way people speak Kihutu in Rwanda, they speak the Kihutu in Burundi. You'll find the same people in this region of Tanzania speaking Kihutu. You cross over the lake, you come to this side, you'll find people speaking Kihutu. And some of those people are Congolese people. They have their own ancestors from Congo. They have never gone to Rwanda in their life. Their fathers have never gone to Rwanda. Their great-great-grandfathers have never been anywhere near Rwanda. And these people joined the army, and you're calling them FDLR. You are calling Congolese soldiers rebels from Rwanda. That is not true. And the other thing you have to notice from this data, by the way, I noticed this is 12 million Hutus in Rwanda, about 11 million Hutus in Burundi, and I said about 4 million of them are in Congo. So if you take 12 plus 11 plus 4, we are talking about almost 28, right? So let me see, 12, 11, that is 24, 23 actually, plus 4, 27. Yeah, 27. Now, that means Hutus are the largest tribe and ethnicity group in the whole of East African region. Not Eastern Africa, but East African region. Why am I saying that? Because if you go to Kenya, you find the largest group in Kenya is the Kikuyu people. They are about 17 million. In Tanzania, I think they are the Wanyamwezi, the people of Magufuli. They are about 14 million. They are about 19 million, if I'm not wrong. Then you come to Uganda, you find there's the Baganda people. They are not that many, maybe 8 million. So the Hutus found in Burundi, Rwanda, and Congo could be the largest group. And the Tutsis are now the minority group in the whole of the East African region. They're even fewer than the Maasais. So it means you cannot continue holding a government in Rwanda, oppressing Hutus in Rwanda, while we have more than 27 million Hutus in the East African region. So to him, Paul Kagame, he's scared that sooner or later, a lot of Hutu people might end up being trained, having guns, and he fears that they will come to Rwanda and help their brothers and cousins in Rwanda to remove him. So that is the fear. That's why every time he sees a Hutu in Congo who is a Congolese citizen with a gun, he gets scared. He starts doing those things he does. He goes to Congo and picks the few less than 200,000 Tutsis in Congo and trains them in Rwandan military camp, and then gives them guns and some few Rwandan soldiers to back them and send them to Congo. To do what? To do what exactly? Because they cannot remove 4 million people from here. They are few, 200,000 against 4 million. And now what is happening in Congo is that some of the Hutus and communities that are related to them have started attacking the Tutsis in Congo because they have seen them as enemies. So the same problem that Kagame created in Rwanda, he has managed to export that same hatred to the rest of East Africa. And now we have a lot of people who pretend that they do not understand what is happening.